So it's time to acknowledge those good things that are happening every single day in every little moment. Today was one of those days I was driving down a windy road here in the GA and I lost control of my car. And in a moment, I don't know if it was the angels, if it was my what is it? Reflex. But thank goodness it was no oncoming traffic, and thank goodness the car behind me was far enough to allow me to swerve. When I say I swerved to the left, to the right, and almost and back into my lane and almost into the ravine of the tree, then I don't know. I can't even tell you what happened because my car almost flipped. That's how windy the road was and how I lost control. And I have never lost control of my vehicle um ever, ever like that. Especially on a solid road. Now, if it was snowing or something, and that would be the snow, but it gave me a moment of jolt. It just was like, whoa, pay attention, be alert, and be grateful and thankful in that moment because I felt like my angels like really just helped bump me back over and just set me down and was like, it's not your time to go yet. And all I could be like was, thank you, God. I don't that I need my car, it was selfish, but it was also um I had a sense of relief and allness to it because I know that I had spiritual help in that moment. So those little things like that, and the rest of the day just seemed to mimic that. It was like my intuition was like, "Okay, it's time to do this. Okay, go to the gym. Okay, it's time to go home." Now, I didn't probably listen to my intuition. Not ain't gonna say probably. I did not listen to my brain. I don't think it was my intuition. I wanted Chipotle today, but I chose not to go to Chipotle. I just chose to just eat what was at home. So I still kind of want Chipotle, but I think that's mostly in my mind. So I'm gonna go to bed, and I'm so tired of allergies right now as well. I would just want to breathe, God. I just want to breathe. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more journaling and allow myself to continue to have receptivity with peace and to receive and allow. And so I got this thought, also while I was driving about what is the word people say? Um, the negative component and reason why I ain't gonna say I don't, but the word allow always, excuse me, guys, never set with me very well in a positive space because of my background and having people allow things to happen to me and not say anything because that was just allowing. It was like giving up my power, my authority, and just allowing, shenanigans, disruptions, molestation, rape, all that other crap, the trauma and stuff that I've endured and, and healed from and back to it. No need to be talking about that on YouTube. But that word allow really I never um I don't want to say never because I don't like absolutes, but when people would say that, it was always within the majority of the time, not always, because that's another absolute. I'm working on my absolute not having absolutes, you guys. I'm really working on that because nothing is an absolute, except for change. Change is an absolute. Change will always change. But having using that word and not being afraid of allowing because I always would add like allow for what? For what purpose? For me. It was like I'm not going to allow anything unless I knew what the purpose of the end result was going to be. And so in my crown era, I'm just working on and relearning and unlearning my language and how I have connected my own neurons and brain waves to certain speech patterns that require some shifting because I don't accept them as pure truth. I question them. So, with my understanding of allowing and having provision, I also will put a block on that at points and times of my life. You're providing for what? I always needed to know not why, but how come and for what purpose. And I have to be able to look at the purpose of life and say the purpose is for experiences. And so for me, that's a blanket space. I can say for the experience and be okay with it. My mind doesn't say it's a good experience or a bad experience because all experiences collectively is going to get me to my end result, of whatever that is, my end desire, my growth, my faith, my whatever. I'm probably rambling a little bit on this video. I am tired and I'm just still processing a lot of the person that already the version of me that already knows a lot of things, but and yet still doubts the truth within herself. So, yeah, so be grateful and thankful for the little things, the big things, the small things. And today I'm grateful that I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm still here to create YouTube videos. I'm here to share my wisdom. I'm here to process things with you live and uncensored. And it gives me great pleasure in doing that because the more I can speak out and process, the more I'm able to go deeper and integrate and embody things in a more sustainable and spiritual way. So yeah, that's it. That's all. I don't even know what I'm going to title this video, but it is what it is. Have a good night. I love you. I'm Coach Hunt. I'm a holistic self-love coach who support women to have the best life ever, whatever that means for them. Um, because we're all on a different journey here in our crown era, 45 and up. And just know I have your greatest interest at heart. If you have any questions, concerns, you want me to talk about a topic, put it in the comments. I look forward to reading them and sharing with it and you being a part of this community of crown women doing our thing. And I have your greatest interest at heart. So bye.